Okay, now you've created an opportunity. This video is about managing the opportunity using all the different tools at your disposal to help accomplish moving that opportunity from the very first stage, opportunity ID, all the way through the final stage of negotiation and ultimately a sale. So we just created this test opportunity that I have highlighted here. And one of the first things that comes up, if you see at the bottom, it says created test opportunity, create a follow-up tasks. Many times once you've identified the opportunity, we need to either add something to the calendar, we need to create a task for follow-up, ordering a sample, doing something like that, so it'd be a task. Or in a case where it is more extensive than that, we could even go as far as creating a project. The opportunity allows us to, in any one of those cases, tasks, calendar items, to-dos, whatever, assigning or relating those tasks back to this opportunity. So you can do that from down here. If I wanted to create a follow-up task, I can simply just create a follow-up task, fill in this document, and if you notice if I do it from there, it automatically relates it to this test opportunity that I'm talking about. If I don't do it from there, I can do it from a lot of different ways. And one of the ways that I can do it is actually from the opportunity itself. So if I select on here anywhere, as I mentioned before, anywhere other than the test opportunity name, it's going to bring me up this 1/3 kind of a quick sheet on the information. I can look at the name and who it's the primary contact is. I can look at any related opportunities or activities. And anything else related to it by way of tasks, files, calendar events, projects, etc. If I don't want that really third page quick thing, I can actually select it by going up here and putting the cursor on the opportunity name itself, and it brings me into a full screen where it shows me all three tabs of that in one spot. And so we're going to spend some time here. You can, just so you know, you can also do it from that quick view where I don't leave that screen. So from a management perspective, so on this page, I may choose to do several different things. Any emails associated with the individual and the primary contact would be certainly listed here under activity. Any tasks associated with it, you can see anytime I do any activity at all, it moves it to here. And that's included anything that I generate from my mobile app on my phone. So that would be inclusive of anything from there. I can also log a note, which I'll show you in a second, or I can associate anything over in this end. So I'm looking at this test opportunity, and let's say that I want to create a task associated with that test opportunity. I'm going to hit this plus sign here. It opens up my task view, and I'm going to create a task that says call John Doe to set up meeting. Okay, it's already related to that test opportunity because I'm in there. I'm the one associated with it is the owner. If I wanted to create this task and assign it to someone else, which requires supervisory approval, you could do that here. I could assign this to Sarah or Christy or another person that has Prosperworks. I could do that here. A priority, I'm going to add a description, and there's nothing really here that I need to add in addition. And I'm going to just create that task. Due date here if I want to do it, and a date if I wanted to do a reminder. So I'm going to say this is due next week, and I want a reminder at the end of this week. I click save, and here you can see that I have a task associated with it that would also show up on my dashboard of to-dos as I manage through this. So I've got a task associated with it. Let's say there's a file that I needed to attach to it. I can link it to a Google Drive file. I can upload from my computer. And that would allow me to make sure that anything assigned to this opportunity, maybe it's a spreadsheet of people that I'm going to be fitting or something like that, I could store it right here if I want to make sure that I keep track of it. calendar events. If I need to create a calendar event, obviously this is opening my Google Calendar. I can create a Google Calendar event right here that's also associated with it, and go from there. And projects, if I want to create a project from here, I can do it all. I can do any of these events from this screen, and it also shows me all the activity here in the middle that is associated with that opportunity. Lastly, I just want to show you this log note. Log note's nice when you have multiple people in here, because I can do mentions in here, which I'm going to show you here in a second. Or if something changed, or I had a conversation and I just want to document the conversation. Let's say I spoke with John Doe and he was interested in moving ahead. I just want to make sure that I know when I did that. I'm going to time, date, and stamp that, and you'll see that it adds it to my activity. This would also be created if I call John Doe from my Prosperworks app on my phone. A phone call activity would also be created and stored here as well. So you don't have to do it this way. You can do it right from your mobile phone, which is actually probably pretty easy. And mentions here, if I want somebody else to see this note, I can add a mention. So if I want John to be aware of something in here, I can say @ John, and see how it brings up John Tragi. And then I can just make a note. This is a training note. Disregard. And I will save that. And it will show here. John will get a notification in his Prosperworks. He would also, if he's got it set up on notifications, get an email or other ways that he can. So if I do this here, I'll show you mine. At Jason Kleinfelter. And I'm just going to show you this test message. I save it, and it creates that same note here. Okay. The final thing, as it relates to this, anytime I want to get out of this screen and go back, I just click on the word sales, and it takes me back to this screen. The final thing you need to understand about it is moving these around. How do they move from opportunity ID to solution ID to where test, and etc. Once you have these, you can just literally drag these. So if this test opportunity, I called John Doe, I set up a meeting. He's now in the solution ID. I'm doing some research for him. I go along and I have the meeting with him, and we decide he's going to do a wear test of a certain honor guard uniform. I move it to wear test, and let's say from wear test, we get into that, and he says, you know what, we lost funding for it. I can actually take that and put it in abandon, in which case I can do a report later on and look up abandoned things to put it back in here. Or let's say it goes to quote, negotiation, and you don't have to do this in order. These can skip steps. Goes to a negotiation, we get everything sorted out, and then ultimately goes to won or lost. If it's won or lost, it'll bring up this. It allows me to turn John Doe into a current customer, or Ramsey County Sheriff's into a current customer, and add any additional notes that I want to include for future reference. So that is how we are going to track opportunities and manage opportunities all the way through the process. And the key to it is always making sure that we relate tasks, calendar items, and everything back to the people and back to the opportunity itself. And just to show you real quick here, if I go under people and I search for, I don't know if it would have created John Doe or not. Yeah, here's John Doe. It creates John Doe. If you go over here and you look at this, you'll see test opportunity is over here attached to John Doe. under the people. If I go to this page and I go to Ramsey County, here's Ramsey County Sheriff's Department. I go into Ramsey County Sheriff's Department and you'll see right here is a test opportunity right here. So that's why these are all interrelated. That's why they're tied to each other. And from any one of these pages, I can get to this test opportunity, open up this test opportunity, and work on it from here. It also shows when on the activity on each one of these, when that was assigned. So that's how we're going to manage it. It's going to be key that you take the time on a daily, weekly basis to go in to opportunities and move the ones that you need to move around and clarify the ones that need to be updated, or update those on a regular basis so that we're always looking at good, clean data. That's how we're going to manage opportunities. Any questions, shoot Jason an email, jason@keepers.com.